So I'll get.
What's your name again?
Evan.
Evan. Okay.
All right, guys. Welcome to the Spyderco booth here at SHOT Show 2022. We have the man himself here today, Mr. Eric Glesser. So we really appreciate you taking the time with us today.
Oh, thank you.
We have a lot of really cool stuff here laid on the table. A lot of the stuff that you guys may have seen from the reveal. What was that? A week and a half ago-ish now?
Yeah, roughly.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So we're going to give you guys a little bit of a closer look. So Eric, you got anything you want to show us here today?
I guess I'll just start walking through some of the knives that are on the table.
That's what we're here for.
All right. I'll start with the middle. How's that? Middle top.
Easy.
One of the reasons I'm starting with this one is I'm just really excited about it.
As am I.
This is the Stretch XL, so that's the Stretch 2 XL, actually. One of the things you'll notice about this one is it's a little bit larger than the old version.
Yes.
That's why we said XL, a little bit larger. It's got a straight spine. Most people know Spyderco's have a lot of these shapes to them, and so it's a shape that's familiar with a lot of people. The grind on this we're really proud of, as I am with most of our grinds on our knives.
Absolutely.
A nice double distal taper that really reaches out. The handle and the ergos are just really evolved on this item. This has no liners on the inside. With a lot of our knives, we put nested liners in there for our 4-way clips. So the weight is going to be reduced on this.
Nice.
The taps are injected in from the inside.
Fantastic.
So you still have your 4-way reversible clip, bi-directional texturing. It's a mid-back lock Boy Dent. Still a huge backlock fan.
Absolutely.
Got self-close, the good action, the solid lockups. If you're looking for just a lightweight, high-performance carry piece.
I like the straight spine that you were talking about there. That definitely changes up the look of the knife as more of like maybe an enduro look to it, as opposed to what you're kind of familiar with the Stretch, but with that nice handle texture and everything there. So I really like that.
Also, if you're familiar with the old Enduras compared to the newer Enduras, the tip is very straight on this, so it's a little crisper.
Yeah.
We tend to round out the tips on the Enduras and Delicas and Andellas a little bit more for that added strength. But for this one, we kept it straight all the way through to have that really crisp tip.
Really acute. That's really, really nice. All right, moving down, we have a beautiful Warren clip.
Yeah.
Actually, we have several Warren clips.
Several Warren clips. You're going to notice more and more Warren clips. We love Warren clips as far as what they bring to the table, as far as their performance. Absolutely. They really reach out and cut. So the first one on the table is the Andella. This is in between the size of the Endura Andella.
Yes.
Comes in our Warren Cliff full flat, plain and serrated. Just like the Stretch I talked about, the screw together construction, the bidirectional texturing, the 4-way clip, the high performance lockbacks. It just brings all the attributes that Spyderco is known for in performance. Absolutely. Of a knife. And so yeah, the Warren Cliff on this, and then we're pushing that into the Bird series. So you have your Cara, your Harrier, your Meadowlark, and your Robin right across the board.
Yep.
Here you're showing the serrated version. We also make it in a plain edge version. But yeah, we're continuing to expand our Warren Cliff line. These all have internal liners.
Okay.
So they're going to be a little bit more weight to them than maybe the XL we just looked at. But they very stout, very strong knives.
Yeah, and we've seen Warren clips and sheep's foot especially become really popular here in the last 3-4 years. I think it's a great blade shape. It's one of our favorite blade shapes around the rec report, so we're really, really excited about that. What do we have going on over here, my friend?
Okay, these are a little bit newer. A lot of the market may not have seen some of these yet. The first one is a slip joint little native. So we call it a slip it.
Yes.
Spyderco slip its are one hand open, non-locking folders that have some sort of 4-finger choil or guard, something that'll help it from closing on you. And they also clip to your pocket. And so we've been making slip its now, I feel about 10 years. So this one just brings that model to the little native. It's a 2.5-inch S30V, 4-way clip, full spine all the way down.
Absolutely.
It's just really comfortable in the hand, a great size. Nice smooth action. For this one, it doesn't have a mid-stop.
Yeah.
So some people prefer it, some people don't. But for this one, we decided not to go with the mid-stop. We still think it's safe and secure, but it's a fun carry.
And then so now we have a back lock, a compression lock, and a slip it version of the little native.
Yep.
That is really, really nice.
And a compression Warren Cliff coming too.
Yes, there we go. So
yes.
More Warren Cliffs, more little native love. We've seen that model really, really kind of blow up around our store here recently. Everyone's just been really, really enjoying those. That is really compelling to me.
At 2.5 inches, it's tough to get a much better package.
Sure.
You know, it fits the hand, a larger hand, a smaller hand. It's really diverse in a lot of different carries. This one has the wire clip that's reversible with the compression lock.
Always my preference is Spyderco.
Yeah, we do make the
I
back
love
lock
the wire
version.
clip, yes.
But yeah, the little native, we're continuing just to expand and grow the market.
That is really, really comfortable. And that's a lot of usable blade in a small package like this.
It is. It's still at 2.5 inches. We like that size. It's legal in a lot of areas, and it just meets that kind of middle Goldilocks length in a lot of ways.
So, so with the Wharncliffe, we're starting off with the compression lock. Are we moving into the back lock, little native at some point?
We don't know. We're going to launch it with the compression and see if the market likes it and go from there.
So is this a lightweight little native?
It is.
Fantastic.
I'm really excited about this one. Of all of the little natives, this one we reduced the thickness of the blade over the G10. Yeah, the whole package is thinner. So with the wire clip and the thinner package, it just barely, you notice it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Bi-directional texturing. The back lock's going to give you a lot of security, good self-close in it. But yeah, very much a Spyderco, but in that 2.5-inch American-made.
That is fantastic.
Little native.
That's fantastic. This might give the Dragonfly a run for its money down the road.
Yeah, it might. The Dragonfly is a classic.
It is a classic. This is really exciting, especially coming from, actually both of us, Riley and I, are both huge lightweight people, lightweight Spyderco people, so that's fantastic. What do we have going on here? Because with the lightweight Manix 2,
yeah.
what's changed with this guy
I
here?
laid it out. One, we're going to a screw together construction.
That is, there you go, Riley. That is huge.
And so for some people, we've been doing the rivets. They can't really have flexibility in the knife.
Yes.
We wanted to give some more flexibility. Also gives us some abilities in our warranty and repairing things to dive in there if we need to.
That's a great point.
We're also going to be launching it as a salt in the future too.
Wow.
And so it's nice to start the screw together construction with the Manix, and that's one of the reasons I have the MagnaCut Salt Native there too, just so that you can start to look at them both.
That's fantastic.
Our Salt series is a very highly corrosive run of steels. We currently make it in LC200N,
Yes.
H1, and now MagnaCut. I would say it's not completely rust proof. I do want to put that in there, that you do want to take care of it a bit, but it's going to give you a lot more corrosion resistance than our typical line.
Okay, so something over something like S30V.
Oh, much more.
Or S45VN, I should
yeah,
say.
much more.
Okay, fantastic.
And so we're going to launch it in yellow, 4-way clip like most of ours, bi-directional texturing, back lock. You'll notice we're coating a lot of the hardware these days.
Absolutely.
Continue to just do CQI and bring more performance to the corrosion resistance.
Constantly improving.
But yeah, we're excited for MagnaCut in general. It's a really neat steel.
Absolutely, man.
And so we're going to continue to develop the MagnaCut series, and so there'll be a Manix coming along with it too.
That is really, really good news, because the Manix is by far and away my favorite Spyderco model. I'm really excited about that. So when it comes to MagnaCut, when I first saw that you guys were the first production I think you were putting out in MagnaCut was going to be a salt series, I was like, wow, if they're doing that, it must really, really be that corrosion resistant.
Yeah, it is.
I don't have any experience with it.
It is incredibly corrosive resistant. I am going to say that the world of H1, which a lot of people that follow Spyderco, yeah, that's pretty tough to beat in corrosion resistance. And honestly, it doesn't beat it in corrosion resistance, but it does bring a lot of great attributes like edge retention, toughness, and with a tremendous amount of corrosion resistance. So we felt it was a nice balance, and we're going to give it a go.
I think that's a really cool, interesting way to introduce it to the line. Started off with a Colorado model. That's fantastic. The idea behind MagnaCut with bringing that chromium out of the chromium carbide to kind of into solution, as Laren would say.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that, because like you're talking about with the added benefits over something like H1, LC200N, that is really, really exciting. So we'll have to get some close-up shots of this before we leave, because it's super exciting to me. Mr. Glesser, what do we have going on over here? These are all some beautiful looking knives there.
So yeah, I'll just start at the bottom and I guess start to work up. This is an Urban, comes with an ivory G10, full backspacer for a slip it.
Yes.
It comes with damask steel, reversible wire clip. This one does have a mid-stop.
Yes, absolutely.
Because some people prefer that. Right at 2.5 inches. But yeah, this is, if you're looking for that slip joint gents carry, easy to,
That's huge.
you know, not going to tear up the pocket, not going to pull your pants down on weight, but extreme quality. You know, we worked with Fox out in Italy on this one.
Yes.
And you know, they did a great execution. It's great to have a Maniago knife in the line.
It absolutely is. And one thing I noticed about the Italian models that you bring to market is that they still feel very Spyderco. They don't feel like you've outsourced a design to another company. It feels that they're all still have that quality, the same action, it seems. Yeah, this is gorgeous. Beautiful fit and finish.
We've been working with Fox for generations. You know, my father worked with the father, I work with the son.
That's really cool.
And so yeah, over our, you know, I think it's been about 20 years now. We've continued to work together well.
Yeah.
And I think that they did a great execution of a Spyderco. It's a wonderful to work with them.
It's gorgeous. This is, and just crisp half stop there. That's really, really nice. So looks like we have a Sprint Yojumbo here. What's going on with this one?
Huge fan of Mike Janich, his designs.
Yes.
The Yojimbo, the Yojumbo. In the prototype case, there's even a smaller one, but I don't want to show it on video.
It's okay.
We're continuing to develop these lines, but
you can see.
this one's peel ply carbon fiber.
One of my favorite Spyderco handle materials.
Yeah, absolute classic. For people that have been following Spyderco a long time, it's the S90V peel ply carbon fiber.
You just know
version.
when you see the handle, you don't even need to look at the blade at that point.
And so, yeah, S90V is still a remarkable steel.
It is.
In its performance, its corrosion resistance, and everything about it. It's still one of my favorites. The peel ply carbon fiber gives you that look and that grip. Really, the execution of the grinds, I know I talk about grinds a lot on videos, but we're just so very proud of them. So this is a nice hollow grind, keeps a very thin edge towards the bottom. The edge is flat and crisp, and the right edge angle, and everything's done right on the blade. So this thing really likes to reach out and cut.
Yes, absolutely.
It does a wonderful job. The strength of the lock we're very proud of. When you start to get to a knife this big, and the requirements of a knife this big, you know, the engineering team and the R&D team worked very hard on the lock to execute it. So it's great action, solid lockup, good self-close because a big heavy blade has its challenges. Four-way clip, you know, it's just such a pleasure to work with Mike on a knife like this.
When are we looking to get this one out to market?
Geez, soon.
Okay, that's fantastic.
I know they're chunking through the system now.
They are fantastic.
You know, one of the things as I looked at you holding it, the way this hollow grind ends here but reaches out all the way to here, that tip, when it goes through something, it slices about as good as anything out there.
It's wicked.
It is truly phenomenal.
And then what about this piece?
This is the Ride Bomb, David Ride Bomb. You know, we've been working on this knife for years with him. He makes one now called Bill the Butcher. It's a beautiful custom piece. He's been making them in various sizes and very small nuances on the design that are changed. We're happy to work with him on this one. I guess jumping into the design, it is a cleaver, a modified cleaver. Has a little bit of that Warncliffe, that really nice flat edge.
Absolutely.
It has all titanium scales. The scales are rounded out and machined and then finished out. That can always be a challenge for anybody that's in the machining world. They understand that. The reeve integral lock, the over travel stop, the custom clip. You know, it tends to, as a side note, it does have a little bit of a pry here if you need to use it for some sort of tack. You can get up on your thumb if you need to and really choke up on this thing. It can really take a lot. Also, you know, you can also catch this and open it in your pocket a little bit with some skill.
That's really cool.
You can also open it without it occurring, but with a little bit of skill, much like the Emerson Open, it does have a little bit of a catch there. But it really brings a lot of neat attributes. It's really fun to work with Ride Bomb. He's a great maker, great person, and it took a little longer than we'd like in today's manufacturing environment.
Of course, that's expected.
Yeah, we're so excited to get it to the market.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. Even down to the way the pivot looks, the clip, it's just really, really dialed in. I can't wait for you guys to be able to get your hands on this and to feel the quality. Obviously, the Spyderco models that come out of Taichung are always dialed in.
They're beautiful.
Fantastic models. Very, very excited for this. If you are a high-end Spyderco guy, you're going to need to get your hands on one of these. At least try it out. It is fantastic.
Pleasure to carry. It really is. And just like the Ojumbo, one of my favorite is just getting in on that tip.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
Just
very similar
and
tip
just wonderful tip on that one.
And 20 CV on this.
Yes, 20 CV is a beautiful steel.
It is.
Beautiful steel.
Excellent.
Probably don't use it enough.
Yeah, well,
but I enjoy using it.
Yeah, whenever we can get it in there, and then with the titanium and the 20 CV being very stainless, it's going to be a low maintenance product.
Should be, yeah. And you know, on this one, we don't have an interface, a stainless interface.
Yes.
It's got that thick titanium, and we like that broad surface and not too hard against hard. We think that it's a nice lockup, and so there's always a balance. Sometimes we'll do a stainless interface, sometimes we won't, depending on the weight, the thicknesses, things like that. But we think it should be a great performance piece.
Disengaging the frame lock there, or the reef integral lock as you refer to it, which I think is really cool. I meant to talk, we'll talk about this off camera, I meant to talk to you about that. But there's no lock stick, it's very smooth on the disengage, it's very smooth action-wise. That's going to be a really, really cool piece for you guys out there.
Yeah, you know, everything in the knife industry was typically brought to the market by somebody.
Yes.
Almost everything you see on a knife. And so, yeah, I love to give Reeve the credit for that integral. You know, Chris Reeve and their company is still a wonderful company. And so they did change the market as a whole.
And, you know, you are one of the only manufacturers out there that on their own website refer to whenever you have a frame lock model, it's always the IRL or Reeve integral lock. I think that's fantastic. So I think it's really cool you're getting props where props are due. So that's really neat. That's really neat. I've always wanted to speak to you about that in person because I always thought that was very cool.
Yeah.
And even with the old Sage series that you guys ran with the different locking mechanisms from different from different knife makers, that was one of my favorite things when I was getting into the knife.
Yeah, you know, geez, with the market these days in the world, it's just tough to do a lot of that stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm hoping that as we continue to move forward, we can really start to get back into coming out with some of those on a more regular basis.
That would be fantastic.
But with the delivery challenges and the market today, you know, it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, it feels like some days, but we're still going forward.
Yes, Spyderco's always moving forward. Well, Mr. Glesser, do you have anything else that you want to share with the community?
I guess I'll just quickly mention these. This is the Golden Stone. It's in our ceramic.
Fantastic.
I know we make it now. A lot of people know about it. We also used to make a thing called the duck foot. We're reintroducing it as the web foot, I believe it's called.
Okay.
It's a little bit thicker than before. We think it's one of my personal favorites just because it's so easy to use. You know, you don't have to have your guards and your bases and everything else. It's all encompassed in one piece. But for this, you have your flat. If you're going to do, you know, flat stone style, a groove for points and hooks.
Fantastic.
Ceramic is almost like a putty. And then you put it in a kiln and you heat it, and that's how you work ceramic. Much of it's extruded or pressed. With this, it goes from a flat to a curve and to a point, and then back to a flat. And the manufacturing of a ceramic piece like this is quite a feat in manufacturing.
Absolutely. It's something that people might not recognize just by looking at it, you know?
Yeah, same with this too. You know, getting all these shapes in there and then getting that CBN to cover the entire surface. Very proud of both of them. With the fine point here, you can, you know, really get in there and do your serrations. It's got a fine enough radius to get in there. You can also rotate it a little bit if you want to get to that side for your rounded. Keeping the blade straight up and down. Give you great good instructions on how to use it, but it really is one of our more versatile sharpeners. Hell, it'll even do scissors.
That's amazing.
And so, yeah, once you jump into it, it's an amazing tool.
And very easily portable with the slips, the leather slips that you're showing them here with, so that's fantastic.
You know, before we made knives, we made sharpeners.
Yeah.
And it's important to keep your knives sharp and to maintenance them. So we're going to continue to develop those sharpeners, and in my opinion, we built some of the best. You know,
yeah, I would agree with that.
They can get into just about any edge you need. They're harder than just about any steel that you can. They are harder, particularly the ceramic, than any steel you're going to find. You're not clamping anything. You're not looking with oils and waters. It's simple.
You don't need a drill to set it up.
Yeah, and for the edge angle, you just keep it straight up and down. And so for our sharpeners, we continue to develop sharpeners. We have more to come in the future. And yeah, excited to work on those still.
So innovating on every front.
We are. We try to.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Glesser, thank you so much for taking the time
Ah.
today. I know you guys are going to be busy. This is still just day one.
Oh,
So
well, yeah,
this
thanks for stopping
You guys
by.
are going to be busy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Stay tuned for more SHOT Show 2022 content.